Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Squirt's necklace. Okay, so I've got my Squirt's necklace here for my Lightning Strafe Impaled Demon Hunter. It has all the stats that I want. The crit hit damage could be a little better, and I am searching for a new one, but for the demonstration, this will work absolutely fine. So to take a look at the ability for this, while you're not taking damage that you deal is increased by up to 100%. Down here where my mouse is, this is the ability. I currently have 10 stacks on this, which means that I am at the 100% damage bonus right now. But when I take damage, this is going to fall off completely. It's going to take a few seconds to start stacking back up, and it stacks up 10% at a time all the way up to 100%. Now, it really doesn't take that long to build up to 10 stacks. However, while you're pushing or just doing speed farming, it's really easy to take damage and drop that buff off before you even get back to the 100% bonus. Having said that, if you're playing well, you should be able to keep this up at least a decent amount of the time. I want to hop in and demonstrate the power of this necklace. For the demonstration, you can see that my character is mostly naked. I've just got my bow, my 2 rings, my wraps of clarity to stay alive, and the Squirt's necklace. What we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate this against just a random amulet that also happens to be a quadfecta. We're going to go ahead and start with the random amulet. Okay, so as you can see, it is taking us quite a bit of time to kill things here in Torment 8 by wearing this amulet. Let's go ahead and put on the Squirt's necklace and see what the difference is. So hopefully that demonstration gives a little bit of perspective. I feel like the best way to demonstrate its power is to kind of get rid of most other things that are really buffing up my character, because at that point when there's so much damage added to your character, it can be a little bit harder to kind of tell. But in this instance, I feel like it was pretty clear that once we put on the Squirt's necklace, we were absolutely dominating this content. Although the Squirt's does have slightly better rolls, I would not venture to say that the extra 4% lightning damage and 2% extra crit is really what's causing this big of a difference. In addition to this, on the Eye of Elich, we have more crit hit damage anyways, but all things considered, yes, the rolls on the Squirt's necklace are better overall, but really it's that secondary ability that is absolutely buffing us up and allowing us to dominate. So to dive in a little further, this is a very good amulet for classes that are especially evasive. Take a Demon Hunter, for example, using the Smokescreen ability. It's very easy for us to avoid damage a lot of the time so that we can keep up the stacks on the Squirt's necklace. When you're pushing, you're really going to need that additional damage, and it really shines when you hit a shield pylon. Those shield pylons are going to last for a very long time, and you are going to get the full 100% damage increase bonus for the entire duration. In addition to that, you're not going to be having to spend any time stutter stepping around, you can stand in place and do as much damage as possible with this bonus up. Now, when I started playing again in Season 19, the Flavor of Time was the best in slot amulet because we didn't yet have the emanating abilities for our followers. Once the emanating abilities became available and the best in slot switched to Squirt's necklace for several classes, I was really intimidated to use it. I felt like my character was just dying too often and I felt like I was too squishy. But one thing that I eventually took note of is that a lot of the times a good offense makes a good defense. If you're killing enemies so fast that they can't even hit you, the increased damage that you're going to be taking is not really that big of a deal. But if you want to ease into this, or you're not really playing an evasive class, here's one recommendation that I have. I would recommend dropping a Molten Wildebeest Gizzard into your amulet or any of your jewelry. What it says is that after 4 seconds of not taking damage, you're going to gain an absorption shield. The shield is quite nice, makes you a lot tankier, but the best part about it is that when enemies are hitting the shield, if they are not breaking it and dealing damage to your character, the buff from your Squirt's necklace is going to stay up. This is especially good when you're a lower Paragon level or you don't have good enough gear yet. By using this combination with the Squirt's necklace, you will definitely be able to jump up multiple torment levels. Granted, when you are making your push at the end of the season, if you really want to achieve a high rank, you're probably not going to be using the Molten Wildebeest Gizzard. This is a great option for speed farming just to keep your Squirts up all the time, but when you're really making that push, you're going to want one of the stronger offensive gems and do your best to just keep up the Squirts by being evasive. The current leaderboard suggests that this is best in slot for Demon Hunters, Barbarians, Monks, Wizards, and Crusaders who are not playing the Akon build. The Akon Crusader is currently using the Akon necklace, and so they're not benefiting from this item. The same could be said for most Necromancers right now playing the Trag'Oul set, as they are typically using the Haunted Visions amulet. And lastly, most Witch Doctors are probably using the Traveler's Pledge and Compass Rose combination with the Mundanugu set for pushing. Outside of that, this is probably the best in slot amulet for all other classes right now. And one final note about it, if you find yourself taking damage too often or dying too often while you're trying to get used to it, I would recommend taking a passive like Awareness or whatever equivalent your class has. In addition, you can also take the ability on your follower to gain an additional life on top of that. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you learned something from this video. I know that it was a pretty basic video. However, I know that there are a lot of players who are afraid to use the Squirt's necklace. I truly recommend giving it a shot, and if you really need that handicap to get used to it, the Molten Wildebeest Gizzard is a great way to start. Go ahead and drop a comment down below if you have any tips or tricks for players who are trying to get used to using the Squirt's necklace. Truly appreciate you folks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.